that you wanted them to back up a showdown. Their first half certainly did that.
Yep.
Do you say it for the whole game? Do you feel it was a whole game?
I thought we dropped away in the third quarter, but the first half we played some really strong footy, and probably the third quarter was we went away from some of the things we were doing really well in the first half, and we paid the price. We lost field position, and Essendon were able to score, and probably fortunately for us, they only kicked the 3-7, not the 7-3. So, but then we responded well in the last quarter.
Your first quarters haven't been that good this season. Is that a focus for this game?
No, not really. I mean, we probably look at our first quarters, and the first 3 weeks, it wasn't probably the scoreboard reflected negatively in us, but we sort of probably felt in each of those games we'd started well, even though the scoreboard was against us. So it was probably more that we came out and played the way we wanted to start with tonight, and got off to a great start.
What's it say about Eddie's character to put in a performance like that after the week he's had?
Yeah, well, that's the quality of the guy. I mean, as I said in the press conference yesterday, he'd sort of dealt with that issue, and he was in a really good headspace, and we saw that tonight. And it was nice that he was able to toss the coin tonight. I think it was a good sign between him and McDonald, Tip and Woody. He got tossing the coin, given the week they'd had, and then he got down to business, which you'd expect from a senior player and an experienced player.
What's it say of him now that he's commented before about how he can get into a wrong mindset if it weighs down on him? He's now a far more mature player and showing the results of that. He's now consistently had tough weeks and responded to them. What's it saying of him?
I think it's again the quality of the person. We know what Eddie brings to our team. He's part of our leadership group. He's got wonderful rapport with the players and great support for the players and care for the players. So we don't underestimate the response he also gets from the playing group, who are really supportive of Eddie as well. So, but he's the guy who's then got to come and bring the energy and the effort, and he was special again tonight.
We've played 4 rounds now. Have you had a chance to think how or what areas you've improved compared with last season?
We're starting to get a little bit of a feel. I mean, 4 rounds is still only early in the season. It's still a long way to go, and as I said yesterday, we're pleased with where we've been able to win games of footy, but we also understand that there's a lot of improvement going, and the challenges will keep coming. I think our contested stuff was an area we spoke about at the start of the year, wanting to improve, and we've seen some signs there, which is good. And again, tonight we were able to back that up after a really solid showing up against Port last week in the showdown.
What about your speed? Do you reckon that's improved as well?
Well, I think it's probably our versatility, more than anything else. Tonight we had the opportunity when Jake went down, we were able to roll Dave McKay back, and we're sort of seeing guys playing some different roles, and that's probably the key thing, is just the capacity of those guys to play in different spots.
Is that first half sort of a picture of what you want to see? No?
Oh, partly. I mean, that was the beauty of the first half, is we were strong in the contest and were able to get the game played our way, and then we sort of finished our work and connected really well. So there were some really good signs there.
You thinking about how you go in terms of defending? You sort of opened up a bit on those inside 50s that Essendon did, particularly with Collier at times. Is there a reflection on last year when that happened early as well, that you needed to address that?
Some of those things sort of flow from further down the ground, so we probably had opportunities further down the ground to do something about a couple of those, and we put a fair bit of effort into the first half, and whether or not the players in the third quarter maybe weren't as switched on in that area, that's probably again an area we keep working on.
Just looking ahead, where are we with Josh Jenkins?
Well, so Josh had a run this morning. The plan would be for him to have another run on Monday, with a view to training on Wednesday. And if he's able to get through training on Wednesday, we'll consider him from a selection viewpoint. But it's pretty much a session to session with Josh, because he's got to feel comfortable with the running stuff, and then obviously the footy side of it, and then it'll come down to some contact as well on training on Wednesday. So we'll keep you briefed as the week sort of plays out as to his availability for next week.
When you've kicked 24 goals in the game, is there a temptation then to give Josh an extra week so he's fully prepared, rather than maybe bring him back a little bit too soon?
Oh, not really. If he's ready, he plays. It's it's a question of if he's ready. That's probably the conversation we'll have once he's been able to get out. He's been able to run, but he hasn't been able to do any training. So, as I said, we'll assess that as the week pans out.
Charlie Cameron had another really exciting game. Some of his sort of his speed and his work down the wing there was sensational. Is he sort of bringing what you thought he was going to bring this season in that sort of increased role up the field?
Yeah, I think what we've seen with Charlie is we've seen, he's matured as a player. He's now a 50-game plus player, and the pre-season he had has given him given him the confidence and the belief, because he's built some of his, his conditioning to the point now where he's able to play bigger minutes up the ground and really apply those strengths across just wider than the forward line. And his consistency this year has been probably the key thing for mine. Last year he had moments where he'd be in and out of games, whereas now he's playing consistently over the 4 quarters, which is a tribute to him, because it's the work he's done and the confidence he now has in his running capacity, as well as what he does from a ball winning viewpoint and his carry of the ball.
Troy Menzel came in tonight. How did you see his game?
Yeah, Troy did some good things for us. And again, it wasn't about Troy coming in and lighting up the scoreboard. It was about him just playing the role we wanted him to play, and he was able to come in and do that, which was going to help across our forward line.
And the captain, pretty special first half, I thought.
Yeah, he was very good. Tex early, took some marks, finished some goals, and really got things rolling. I think he had 5 early in the second quarter. I don't know how many he finished with, but I know he had 5 early. But he was pretty influential early on.
Have you seen him kick better for that goal that he has in the first few rounds of the season?
Yeah, he kicked it beautifully tonight. And last week he was important in the last quarter. He kicked a couple of really pivotal goals, I thought, just at the end of the game last week. So again, goal kicking is one of those things that's it comes and goes, but he's in a good form at the moment, which is great to see.
How's your ruckman feeling at the moment?
Sauce?
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows he's played a game of footy, but they all know they played a game of footy. That's as we keep saying, there's no games that you walk off, thinking, well, that was an easy day at the office. That just doesn't exist in this comp. And he had another good test again tonight, and it was a good battle, I thought.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.